Hey, my friends, welcome back to another Quick Tip Friday episode. And happy almost Halloween. This is an odd year, to say the least, right? Maybe understatement of the year. And I feel like, Halloween's kind of not really happening this year. The idea of having hundreds of people walking around in groups, going door to door. Oh boy. I did see some creative people on Instagram, though. They were making these candy shoots, though, where there was like a huge PVC pipe, and then you drop the candy in on one side, and it comes out the other side, which I assume is at least 6 feet away, which I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, happy Friday. If you and I have been texting back and forth this week, you know that this week's theme is defining moments. And when I think about defining moments, there's a few that stick out for me, but there's an even bigger one for my parents, which both of them made the decision to immigrate to the United States. And they actually met in California. So it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that if either of them made a decision not to move, then potentially I wouldn't even be recording this episode today. And I can only imagine how terrifying of a decision that was, to pick up everything and move to a completely different country with a language that you don't even speak. My dad went to school in Vietnam, and then he went to Germany, and then he moved to California to go to UC Berkeley. My mom moved right at the end of the Vietnam War. She was a refugee at Camp Pendleton before she got a sponsor family. And that's the thing, though. That's the thing about defining moments, is that often when you're in the middle of it, it's pretty uncomfortable. When you're living it, it's actually hard to see on the other side what things will turn out to be. But when you look backwards, that's when these defining moments have the most clarity. And the hope, the aspiration, the perseverance, the grit leads to life-changing decisions. So there's an exercise that you can do. It'll take just a few minutes. You can actually do it right now with me, to think about one of your defining moments. Think about a moment that has had a positive impact on you. And maybe it was something where you had to take an action. It doesn't have to be this huge thing, right? Just something where you made a decision and it had an impact on you. And then think about the character strengths that you had to use in that decision, in that situation, in that decision. And this will help to understand how that moment shaped who you are, how that moment contributed to your identity. And think about and challenge yourself to think about, does it change the way that you think of yourself? And then if you step back, you take a look at the bigger picture, you can take a look at the strengths, the contributions, the grit, the perseverance. What types of characteristics led for you to be able to make that decision and to be able to make that positive change in your life? In career defining moments, sometimes you're in the driver's seat and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you quit your job and sometimes you don't. But I recently had a conversation with Morgan, who's a Vyten Plus member, and earlier this year, he got laid off as a result of COVID-19. And that's not uncommon right now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are in that situation, but where his defining moment came is when he stepped up to the plate. In the moments that mattered, he worked hard. In the moments that mattered, he drove forward. And while other people are pressing pause on their career, feeling sorry for themselves, taking a break this year during a pandemic, he pressed play. He pressed play on his career, and an incredible outcome. He's working now as a data analyst at Vanderbilt University. It's a great employer, great team that he's on. And you want to know a secret? I talked to him, you want to know a secret? He actually got a raise compared to his last job. How's that for something that was tough? How's that for something that was uncomfortable? And yet it turned out to be this defining moment in his career this year. And so this video that Morgan and I recorded, I'm going to have it up on the Vyten website soon. I'm going to have it up on our YouTube channel soon. It's a great success story. Speaking of the website, though, we're actually making a lot of changes right now, and we actually rebuilt the entire website from the ground up. It's in a dev environment right now. We're making improvements to the private community. We're adding the ability to be able to create more discussions, to private message each other. We're adding the ability to be able to take courses, on-demand courses. These are 10-minute videos, bite-sized videos that you can watch on demand anytime. So if you want to be one of the first to get access to this, shoot me a text message and I'll get you on the list. It's 615-667-8433. 615-667-8433. I'll put the phone number in the show notes on the podcast down below wherever you're watching this, if you're watching the video. So send me a text, 615-667-8433, and I'll get you on the list. Maybe a few of you can even get in earlier All right, my friends, I hope you all have a great Halloween. I hope you stay safe. I still hope you stay healthy. I hope you stay warm tonight. And I'll see you next time. All right, let's go get them.